Good morning, everyone. How are you? Welcome to another live this morning, and hope you're having a great and wonderful start to your day. And we'll say hello to a few folks here as they get their notifications and come on with us. And we always miss a few people. I hate to do that, but guys, I can only say hello to what I see. Michael, how are you from Norland? Brahim, Portland, Oregon. Good morning. Jeanette from our staff. And Jen from Cape Breton. Francis Marie. Good morning. Nativity, how are you? And Kevin, you're right up at the top today. Mary, Norwich. Maureen, Penticton. Good morning. David, Ridgeway. Pauline from Manitoba. Len and Judy from Edmonton. Judy. Amsterdam. Where were you from, Judy? Andrea. Mara, good morning. Windsor. Karen. Otter Lake. Roma, good morning. Jen. Cheryl, West Virginia. Sue, Bolton, good morning. Barbara, Atlanta. Sharon from Kansas. And Faye, good morning. Terrace, British Columbia. Veronica, nice to have you on. Tina. And Sue, good morning. Manitoulin Island. Wendy from Wasaga. Catherine. And Dave, good morning. And Janice, checking in. Karen from Kincardine. Francis from Vaughan. Good morning. Meta, how are you? Susan. And Deb from Timmins. Good morning. Luella. Tennessee, West Tennessee, right? Jerry. Nouveau Brunswick. Zian. Nouveau Brunswick. Karen. Indianapolis. And Jody, good morning. And Marnie, good morning to you. And Connie, Oshawa. Rita, how are you? And Cecilia, right from Sudbury. And Marnie said she ordered her book. Good for you. Cease, how are you? And Baldo, Washington State. Sue, good morning. And Elizabeth, beautiful summer day, isn't it? Lioness, how are you? Margie. And book release day, yes it is. Diane, good morning. Bruno, how is you? And Kathy from Virginia. Suzanne. And Kevin said he ordered the book too. I wish I could autograph all of them, but couldn't do it. Okay. Let's do, in lieu of the fact that we're releasing the book today, let's talk about the book. The reset is in there, and Sun, Steak, and Steel. So I've entitled this podcast today, A Sickness Starter Pack. How do you like that? A sickness starter pack. How do you get sick? And I got 9 things. So for those of you taking notes, how do you get sick? A sickness starter pack. And I'm using 2 words before every point. Not enough. Okay? Not enough. When you don't get enough, it's a sickness starter pack. If you don't get enough, what? Well, let's talk about that. We're going to do 9 things that will make you sick, will start you on your way to disease if you don't get enough of. Now, you guys know this stuff, but hey, it's always good to go over it, isn't it? 1, when you don't get enough sun. Sun, steak, and steel. Of course, I was going to start with those 3. When you don't get enough sun. Guys, the book on vitamin D is certainly not finished in terms of its benefits. The benefits of sun is incredible. Okay? I was thinking of the sun today, like the actual ball in the sky. Okay? And it's crazy. The temperature of it is 27,000 degrees Fahrenheit at the sun. That's 15 million degrees Celsius. Holy moly. Do you know what the size of the sun is? Well, you could put 1.3 million Earths, our planet, in the sun. If you opened up the sun and you could put 1.3 million Earths, planet Earths, in the sun. It's incredible, isn't it? Like, we don't even think of it. I'll tell you when we think of sun is when we don't see it. Okay? When you don't see it, you can get pretty down. I mean, life on Earth would not exist without the sun. Okay? Incredible. Now, the temperature, okay? 27 million degrees. Holy shit. Okay? The size, the distance. We're 93 million miles away from the sun. 93 million miles. Incredible. Okay? I just thought, well, if we're going to talk about the sun, we don't get enough of it. And if you don't get enough of the sun, you're going to get sick. The sickness starter pack. Okay? And the reason the Inuit don't get sick, okay? We'll get into that because people say, well, they never see the sun, or rarely. And how come they don't get sick? Well, they get a lot of vitamin D. And that's the problem, okay, in our society today. The war on vitamin D, the war on the sun has been going on for well over 50 years, probably even more than that. The sun is the boogeyman. The sun will give you skin cancer. The sun, it will wrinkle you up. It will make you old. That is all a bunch of nonsense. And guys, if you've been following me for any length of time, I've debunked that. It's a lack of sun that makes you sick. And, companies like Johnson & Johnson and the sunscreen companies, they duped people big time. And even today, you look at most parents and most people, they'll lather up their kids with sunscreen. And I get it. They're being duped. They don't understand the importance of vitamin D. And they're not being told. All they're being told is skin cancer. And I'm sorry, the sun, especially the deadly one, melanoma, comes from people. Those are majority of people that get that. They don't get in the sun. They're very fair-skinned people. And they don't get in the sun. And they're in trouble for melanoma. I know that's not what you're being told, but that's the truth. Statistically, it's not even close. The sickness starter pack starts with vitamin D, not enough sun. And I was saying through the pandemic, give everybody vitamin D. It's so inexpensive. Make it, hey, they came down with draconian rules. They could have said, well, you know what? Everybody's going to take vitamin D. You got no choice. We want to head off this pandemic. If they would have used they could have used what they used to use, cod liver oil with vitamin D, and I recommend more vitamin D than that, but okay, cod liver oil with vitamin A in it, both for your immune system, okay? So number one on the hit parade, sun. We don't get enough. Oh, by the way, do you know that there's no sun in heaven? There isn't. What? Yeah. Revelation 21 and 22. No sun in heaven. The Son of God lights it up. Okay. Not enough sun. Not enough steak. Not enough steak. People avoid red meat to their detriment. It's a sickness starter pack. Not enough sun, not enough steak. The greatest food in the world is steak. The greatest food in the world is steak. Now, liver, yes, okay. I never put liver number one because I don't personally like the taste of liver, but I know it's good for you. Okay? I get it. I get it. Steak. Name a vitamin. It's in there. Vitamin S, steak. We gave it a vitamin status. And you must eat it. And in the book, I discuss it. Why? Everything in it. It's so nutrient dense. And we talked about that even yesterday. The density of food. The nutrition value. There's nothing like it. Eggs, close. But an egg doesn't hit what a piece of steak has. Eggs are wonderful. Eggs are, I love them. You know that. But at the end of the day, they're not quite steak. And remember what I said. Only at the Martin Clinic. Cancer hates steak. You know what else hates steak? Yeast. Fungus. Can't live on steak. The starter pack for sickness. Not enough sun. Not enough steak. Not enough steel. Not enough. Guys, the more we study, okay, the more we study the effects of vitamin E exercise. All exercise is good, but you know what's taking the number one spot in terms of your metabolism? in terms of metabolic syndrome, it's you and I getting strong. There's nothing like it when it comes to, and I say this in the book, muscles are metabolically number one when it comes to roping off or stopping metabolic syndrome. Muscles. And the problem with weight loss programs, we touched on this yesterday, is that when you diminish your calories generally, and when you're almost every weight loss program has to do with numbers. How many grams of this? How many grams of that? And I never liked that. I don't like counting. People ask me that. I get it once a week. Doc, how many grams of protein should I be eating? Well, lots. Lots. The point is when you're eating the right fuel, you're not going to be hungry. You're going to get rid of insulin resistance, and then going along with that, you're going to get rid of leptin resistance, and therefore it really manages your hunger. Now, guys, it doesn't happen overnight, okay? If it took you years to get metabolically sick, don't expect your body in one day. Okay, this is why I talk about a lifestyle. If you understand fuel, if you understand what is rocket fuel for your body, you get it. And the rest of your life, you understand it. And when people try and sidetrack you and tell you that you need carbohydrates and that you won't live properly unless you get enough fruits and vegetables and, moderation, you're going to hear all of it the rest of your life, guys. If you think this is going away, no. But if you know you have the information, you can make the right decisions and you can go, nah, I'm not going to be duped by that. Son, you don't get enough of. You're going to get sick. Vitamin D deficiency is one of the root causes of almost every chronic disease. Metabolically, steak and steel, you need muscle. You need muscle for your brain. You need muscle for your bones. You need muscle for your pancreas. You need bins. You need a place to store energy. You need a place to store glucose. You need a place for that. As your body turns food into sugars, you need a place to store them. And it metabolically, like in terms of longevity, muscles is really, really important, guys. And this is why I talk about it all the time. Sun, steak, and steel. What's the next one? Sleep. Sleep. You don't get enough sleep. You don't get enough sun. You don't get enough steak. You don't get enough steel. You don't get enough sleep. You want to be sick? You don't get enough sleep. You don't get enough sleep, your cortisol goes up. Your cortisol goes up, you don't get enough sleep. What does cortisol do? It pours gasoline on the fire of inflammation. It pours gasoline on it. The importance of sleep. sun, steak, and steel, and sleep. You don't get enough sleep. And you don't get away with that. And we talked about the self-cleaning oven, your brain. You got a self-cleaning oven. It cleans itself. There's a lot of energy up here. And when you make energy, you have debris. Your brain creates a lot of debris. And the key is to get that debris out of your body. And you have a dedicated system in the brain called the glymphatic system. Not lymphatics, glymphatics. They're glial cells. It's a self-cleaning oven. Isn't that amazing? But it only works when you sleep. And not when you're sedated, when you sleep. Man, it's crazy. Listen, sleeping pills have been around a long time. Okay? And look, if you need to sedate yourself for a day or two, I'm not extreme, guys. Okay? People think I'm extreme. No, I'm not extreme. Dr. Martin, I haven't slept in 50 days. Okay. You can sedate yourself for one day. But at the end of the day, you're not sleeping. You're sedated. It's different. Your glial cells don't function when you sedate them. You've got to be in a sleep. It's different. So if you don't get enough sun, you don't get enough steak, you don't get enough steel, you don't get enough sleep, you got a starter pack for sickness. And like I said, one of the things that I found in cancer, especially, stress is always, whenever I had a cancer patient in my office, I can't even think of one, unless it was a child, that didn't have a traumatic event that they could point to. Some of it very acute, like a loss of, a spouse or something like that, or family dynamics, a loss of a child or a caregiver, taking care of a sick parent or child, or, it was amazing. They could pinpoint it. They said, oh, I got cancer. I said, well, listen, cancer is a perfect storm. It takes 5 years for a tumor to grow to the size of a tip of a ballpoint pen, this big. Cancer's not fast. And every day you fight cancer. Every day your body fights cancer cells, renegade cells, who have a mind of their own. Like I said, I often call cancer cells teenagers. They have a mind of their own. I used to be a teenager. Honest. I thought my parents were crazy. Funny how you come around, eh? You realize how smart your parents were. No, but guys, everybody fights cancer. Your body should be a mean, lean, fighting machine. And it'll fight cancer. But not if you feed it the wrong foods. Not if you don't get enough sun. Not if you don't get enough steak. Not if you don't get enough steel. So, remember that. Okay? Not enough. What do you think I'm going to say next? Not enough water. Two fluids. Two fluids that will save your life. Water. And only water is water. A sickness starter pack starts with dehydration. Water. They don't drink enough water. They drink everything else. They feed their thirst the wrong fluid. I tell people that. Only water is water. Your body was meant to drink water. Okay? Not juice. Not eat water. I know, because if you go online and say, well, you can eat your water. You can have watermelon. I like watermelon. But you're not drinking water. Okay? I know. It's, 90% water or more? But it's not the same, guys. I've taught you that. Water takes a special route to your bloodstream. If you eat watermelon, okay, or berries or whatever, there's water in there. And I'm not saying that's not good for you. I'm just telling you, that's not what hydrates you the right way. You have a mechanism in your body that water goes directly to your bloodstream. Hey, coffee is 95% water, isn't it? We're going to talk about coffee in a second, if you thought I was forgetting. But not enough water. I'm telling you, that is such an issue in our society today, especially when you think of what dehydrates people. Sugar dehydrates people. Water will save you from a heart attack. Water is a very important factor in cancer. Water cools down inflammation. Water makes your bowel work better. Your brain needs water. Your blood vessels, 160,000 miles of blood vessels. It's a river of life. Your blood is a river of life. Guess what rivers need to move? Water. And every day, 7 days a week, you need to replenish your system. Water. Okay? And like I said, only water is water. I'm not saying anything else is not good. I'm just telling you water is water and you need that. And I used to measure that. The thickness of blood. I used to tell my patients, you got molasses for blood. You're dehydrated. What? I said, you know how hard you're making your heart work? Do you know that your kidneys, Niagara Falls, are drying up? You're getting kidney stones. You know why? You don't drink enough water. Coffee. You don't get enough coffee. Now, you guys think I'm joking. I'm not joking. In my new book, Sun, Steak, and Steel, I have a chapter on coffee. What are you supposed to drink on the reset? Water and coffee. Okay? The best is black, but we allow you some dairy, cream, not milk. And none of that oat, soy, almond milk. That's not milk. It's not milk. It's not dairy. Don't ditch dairy. Switch it. Okay? Not enough sun, not enough steak, not enough steel, not enough water, not enough coffee. And I mean it about coffee, what it does for almost everything. People don't realize the benefits of coffee. Oh, Dr. Martin, coffee is acidic. No, it's not. It's not acidic. Your body knows exactly what to do when you drink coffee. Think about the benefits. How good it is for you. Everything benefits from drinking coffee, including your liver. Love it. Not enough coffee. Not enough sleep. Right? Not enough steel. Not enough salt. I have a chapter in the book on salt. They blame salt for what sugar is doing. Now, don't use table salt, okay? Because that's not really salt. It's been stripped away of all of its minerals and trace minerals, and those things are in salt. Get a good salt and use it. Put a pinch in your water. Salty. You cry salt. Your blood is salt. Your saliva is salt. The river of life is salt. There's salt in there. You need salt. Oh, Dr. Martin, it's going to give me high blood pressure. No, it doesn't. The only possibility of you getting high blood pressure with salt is if you don't drink water. It's sugar that gives you high blood pressure. It's sugar that retains your sodium. It's sugar, man, that depletes your magnesium and creates havoc in your body. It's not salt, it's sugar. And people, I'm eating salt-free, and they're proud of it. Craziness. Not enough water, not enough sleep, not enough salt, not enough oil. A starter pack for sickness is when you don't eat enough oil. Okay? Oil. You need lubrication. When you go for an oil change, okay, they do it. They don't tell you about it. You're getting a lube job. Your car needs it, and so do you. You need lubrication. Your blood vessels, you should be taking enough oil to slide around in rooms. Oil. That's where butter comes in. People see butter and they see fat. Look at that yellow, it's fat. Look what it's going to in your blood vessels. But that's not what happens inside your body. Butter turns to oil. It lubricates. Not enough good oil. You know what the problem is, and a huge problem in our society today is? We've changed the oil. We've changed the fat. Because some geniuses decided that fat makes you fat. And butter and cheese. I hear it every day. Doc, how much butter can I have? Lots. Because it lubricates. Think of lubrication. Don't think of clogging your arteries. It does the opposite of that. It lubricates. It keeps your blood vessels nice and slippery. That's what you want. You don't want sticky blood and sticky blood vessels. That's how you start forming plaque. You lubricate. Oil. Why do you think I love good oil, like fish oil? It lubricates. Lubricates your joints, lubricates your gut, lubricates your brain, lubricates your eyeballs. You need a lube job. The starter pack is when you don't get enough fat or you get the wrong oil. And those are all your seed oils, all your vegetable oil. Go in the middle aisles of your grocery store, pull something off the shelf, just about generally. Pull something off the shelf, learn how to read a label, and look and see how they make it. Even peanut butter, unless it's natural. It's got hydrogenated oil. That's why it lasts so long. You think the food industry was stupid? They put stuff on the shelf so it's got a shelf life that's extended. And they use these oils. It's cheap. And by the way, it's polyunsaturated. You see, because they made saturated fat a boogeyman when it wasn't at all. You know what I talk about all the time. Saturated fat, animal fat, is a satisfied fat. You can't oxidize it. You can heat it up. That's why you heat up steak. Think of the oil you're getting. Think of the good fat. Don't get that lean piece of meat. When you have chicken, eat the skin. Get some fat. It's not going to clog up your arteries. It's going to do the opposite. It's going to lubricate. Yeah. Not enough. Not enough oil. Not enough of the good oil. The sickness starter pack. Okay? Okay, guys. Thank you again for celebrating with me the Sun Steak and Steel launch. Okay? It is available now for purchase. The Martin Clinic thanks you in advance. Okay? Let's make it a bestseller in Canada and the U.S. Let's make it a bestseller. Okay? Only you guys can do that. I can't make it a bestseller. But you guys can. So we appreciate it. Okay? So tomorrow's question and answer Friday. Send in your questions. We love you dearly, and we'll talk to you soon.